Okay, Jason Momo, JM on the Fly, and today we're going to do my JM Stink Bug. So let me sneak on in here and give you a good look at this guy. Okay. There you go, you can see this guy. Pretty good looking little version of it. If you see what the fish sees, that's pretty much what they're looking for. And if we want to compare it to the real thing, there you go. Got a really good idea of what we're imitating there. And got a little streak indicator built in. Let me show you how we put this together. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down in a lower position here. May even want to zoom out a little bit. Okay, we got ourselves a piece of 7/8 wide foam. Okay, we'll take a little piece of this and we're going to fold this in half. And this is just regular sheet foam like you get anywhere. And it's thin. It's probably about 1/16 of an inch. First thing we want to do is make a nice snip right down through the side here like that. Okay, one snip right down through. You can see what we got. Basically a piece that's cut open like this. And then we're going to take our scissors in and we're going to cut this tab off and this tab off. Okay, so when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Okay? Next step. Going to set that down here. Oh, let me throw that leg to the side. And we're going to use a teeny little bit of glue. And when I say teeny, I mean a little bit. Yep, let me get my new one. There we go. Just a little bit. See how little bit I have there? A little bit of glue. And we're going to fold this part over like this. That should stay just perfect, just like that, so you can see what I'm doing. And the other side, we're going to do the same thing. And you could use this if you've seen me making any of my insect bodies. You may see me play around with this other times as well, but this is how we do it. Again, just hold that for a second. If you use the super glue gel, really works really good with this foam. So basically that's what you end up with, a nice little piece there cut like that. You could take scissors here, we're going to cut that to length, and that length should be somewhere around 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and just snip that off so you end up with this piece just like this. Okay, nothing to it, just a little piece like this. Now we're going to kind of cut our shape into it. So I'm going to come straight down and kind of curve this like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Come straight down and we want to curve that like that. You can cut back any extra foam and get rid of that. Okay, our next step is we're going to fold this in half. Always have to have tweezers available. Fold this in half so you can see I have that little cup shape there at the tip. Again, I'm going to put a teeny little bit of glue right on the tip, right there. Okay, just smear that in there and fold that like that and just pinch that and just hold that until that cures. Okay, so basically when you look at the underside of the body, you can see what we got. We're starting to form a nice little body which really blends in, really matches the bug itself. So I'm going to hold that for a second here yet and let that cure. Again, go back with your glue. You can see what we end up with. We're getting very much closer. I'm going to take a little bit of glue here and I'm going to put some right in the center of this And then I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to pinch that like this. Okay? So it would be the bottom side, and I'm going to pinch that together like this. Just like that, okay? And just hold that together so that kind of holds up, and you could release it, and you can see what I'm getting here. You see how we're turning this into a really nice looking body. And when it's all said and done, you're going to end up with something like this. Very good looking little body to kind of match what we're looking for. And again, we don't worry about the top, because the top is what we see. We care about what the fish sees, which is the bottom, which is this side. Okay? Now, just to make this look a little bit more realistic, you could just simply take your tweezers and go up and down it a couple times, bring it back together, and just kind of mess with it a little bit. So you get kind of the look that you're looking for. Now I'm going to take the bottom end, and it doesn't really come to a point, so I'm going to actually turn this and kind of round it off at the bottom, because if you look at the real insect, it's more rounded than a point. So I'm just kind of trimming that off, and you can see what I did there in the back side. Just kind of rounded that off a little bit so we look like we should. And then simply by taking a marker, we can we'll draw a line across here, one across here, just giving it the stripes that you would see on an abdomen of a stink bug, something like that. Okay, you could hit the edges with a little bit of red or dark brown or whatever color your stink bugs are, and basically just there, you can just see how I just highlighted that edge there. Flip it around, do the same thing to this side where we're just coming down through, highlighting the edges, so you end up with something like that. Okay, and that's pretty much the abdomen. Now we could get into tying this. Let's get all straightened out here and get you back on camera. We're going to start off with a 94/840 size 12. And I'm going to bring this camera up so you could see what we're doing here. And let me back off on it a little bit. Oh, back off on it a little bit. How about that? Okay, get that a little bit more centered in the picture so you can see the fly. Using a regular 6/0 thread with some tan line, or this, even though the one that's I have is dark, it's dark because it's dead. I'll show you that real quick here. See this one, how dark it is? The only reason that's so dark is because it's dead. When they're alive, they're very, very light colored, and they look a lot closer to that. As far as that, and there we're going to take our small legs, and these are, and I'm going to put this up just so you can see, these are these realistic nymph legs, okay, and this is size S3, okay, S3, small 3, okay. Going to take my little bobbers and I'm going to pull them legs. If you can see what I'm doing here, I'm kind of dragging these legs back. I have the big legs to the side of my tweezers, small legs to this side, and I'm just going to drag this back and pinch it so I have that ear. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to tie that right onto the shank of my hook and wrap that back to there. Okay, so if you can see what we did there, and I'll try and keep it pretty straightforward. And again, if you watched any of my other big foam fly videos, you may have a really good idea of what I'm doing here, because I do this with a lot of my stuff. We're going to lay that front. We're going to come in between the back two sets of legs. Again, wrapping it in nice and tight, somewhere around 4 wraps. Come under so we can line up in between our next set of legs, between the front and the first and the second pair. And again, about 4 or so wraps, and then underneath come front, and we're going to catch the extra you can see pretty much what I'm doing there. We're catching that extra tab in the front. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk that thread back through, and as I walk that thread back through, that's how I'm going to bring these legs down into position. So I will kind of figure 8 this thread through the legs, forcing them down a little bit. And away. So they're all now if you could see what's happening, they're all kind of facing down. Okay? I'm going to see if I could get this any clearer as far as focused. Okay? So you can see pretty much what we got here. Okay, now I'm going to come up and I'll get the last set of legs by wrapping around and through them, and basically now almost every one of these legs is down the way I want them. So if you could look there and see how they're all kind of down and away. Okay, so now we just wrap our way back through without interfering with any of them and come right to the front of the first set of legs. Okay, so I'm basically letting my line sit right in the first set of legs here, and I wish this damn thing would stay focused. It really pisses me off. Anyway, next step, take our body. Is there a reason for this? I mean, come on. It's concentrating on my shirt, I guess. Take our body, okay? We're going to lay it on pop a couple of wraps on there. Okay, you can see we laid our body right on top just like that. You can add a feather for some wing material if you want. And let me see what I got over here. I may even have one. Nope, I don't. No big deal. I'm going to go right to the... sometimes I add a wing in here, which is basically just a piece of soft hackle that I just trim around. So it just shows a little edge of the wing sticking out the case. Not really important. Come in with your strike indicator, which is a poly. Wrap that in right behind the head, just like that. Okay. Form your head. Tie in, just like that. Okay, so we got our head tied in now. Got everything pretty much the way we want it. We're going to now come in and glue the body onto the legs. So if you just lift up the body, put a little bit of glue right there, don't take a lot, and then just look at it so that you're centering the body in the glue and just push down and just hold it there. I'm just pushing it into the hook right now, and I'm just holding it right there until that sets. It doesn't take long to set. There we go. Now that's not going to come off of there. Okay, so you can see what we got there. It looks pretty good. I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim down my head by just doing a little slice here and here. Okay, I got cut my thread, so I will come right around the head again. Cut this little tab off. Whip finish underneath. Grab the whip finish, lift up on the head, come right underneath, and we'll whip finish this off. Beautiful. Okay, I'll come through and snip that little extra off. Come back to our, now we can get everything straightened out here the way we want it. Cut our little foam tab a little shorter. Spray out our strike indicator. I'm going to start long, just like that. So I end up with a nice little strike indicator on top of this fly. Okay, and when you look underneath, you got a beautiful little tone. We're going to take the black marker here. I'm just going to hit the tip of the head. And that is pretty much what we're looking at. Let me just put this out to the end of the vise so you can see the whole thing. There you go. Now you can see what that looks like. Nice little look at that. And we'll look at that compared to the actual insect. And you can see that we have a really good match. I mean, a really close match. I don't know if you could kind of compare that, but there you go. You got a really good idea of what we're looking at there. And that is the JM Stink Bug. JM on the fly, and I am out of here.